Well, good evening. Good evening. Welcome to my podcast, Laquita Taylor, Real Talk with Laquita Taylor. Again, I just thank everyone for coming along and sharing with me. This is our second season, and we are having even bigger guests than we had before. I tell you all the time, we got to crawl before we can walk, but a little bit more. We're really doing what we need to do. So I thank God. I ask that you all can share, subscribe. My producers, my team, we're going to put some things together so we can do. I already got two people looking at doing a commercial on our podcast. So I'm going to do what it takes. Y'all know if I do what I do, it's going to be professional. I try to keep it that way. And I just thank God for what He is doing for us. All right. Well, I have a special guest today. I've known him for a very, very long time. And you all know with the podcast, what I'm doing, I'm trying to cover all walks of life. Again, I said it will not be political, it will not be about killing and the gangs and everything. There is real life with people that are being positive. They may have started out a different way, but where God has brought them makes it so much different. So I just thank God because we're really, really growing. And I love people. I love the different ones. And so I called this young man probably about a month ago, and we finally were able to connect. He's special, special friend of mine. I love him very much. Yeah, when I brought my 60th birthday party with Howard Hewitt, he was my guy. So I want to introduce to you all, everyone knows him as DJ EJ. His name is Eugene. And just want to say a little bit about him, and then I'll turn it over and let you hear for yourself this young man. Eugene, DJ EJ, quick bio, okay? Born and raised in Denver. He went to George Washington High School. He's the father of four children: Brandon, Brian, Tyler, and Jordan. Two boys and two girls. He started DJing at the age of 15. I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna open up the mic so he can tell a little bit more about himself, and then we're gonna have some questions and let him tell the life of a DJ, what it's been like and how it is now. All right. Well, good evening, my
Hey,
friend. How are you?
thank you for having
You
me.
got that DJ voice, I tell you. Yeah, you've been DJing a mighty long time.
Uh,
So yeah. So tell a little bit about yourself.
I, you know, I don't DJ full time, but I've been DJing since actually before high school.
Okay.
I work full time for yeah, everybody knows City of Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
Been there like over 20 years now. I do a lot of weddings, a lot of private events.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do the nightclubs too much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Since the pandemic, I kind of sat that down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of enjoying not being a resident DJ, having to do it every week. But I still have a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you find, well, I know a lot more private parties now versus the big clubs and stuff. That's changed a lot because I know all the people are fighting, they're ready to kill you, look at you funny. And, a lot of people are being afraid. Even my son, 45, he said, "Ma, I don't even go to clubs no more. You don't even know somebody look at you and be mad because you got on something else."
Yeah.
So, do you ever, when you're DJing, do you ever get in a situation where it's like, uh-oh, we may have trouble here?
Not lately. Not since I've been out of the clubs. I
Okay.
do guest appearances at clubs,
Mhm.
albeit Spangalang, for MLK weekend,
Okay, okay,
me and DJ Sonny P. But besides that, um, I don't put myself in that situation
okay,
anymore. So
okay.
I leave it to the young DJs to do that. I'm okay on the club scene.
Yeah. And we all like, everybody knows Al Your Pal. Al Your
Yeah.
Pal was way and went to college, he had it going on. DJ Suicide, and some of the ones and then you were the baby of the group and you might now listen, y'all, I love all y'all, but DJ's my favorite. Yeah.
Hey.
All right. So you have done several events over the years, including Winter Park, Jazz Fest, Black Arts Festival, Ameristar Casino, Resident DJ, Blackhawk, Black Enterprise Magazine, Keystone, City and County of Denver Youth Summit, etc. He can go on and on, but that's just to name a few of who he really is. Um, When you started at the age of 15, where did you start? House parties or you did little private places?
You know, it actually started a little before that. It started when I was in 8th grade.
Okay.
Um, I went to Cole Junior High School. It wasn't middle school back then, it was junior high. And we had a band teacher, choir teacher named Miss Hogle.
Okay.
Um, she asked me, or she may have asked a lot of students, does anybody want to play music for our social coming up?
Mm-hmm.
That's in the lunchroom. The sun is up from noon to 2 when you're done. So I just put my hand in there and said, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any records. I had nothing. So my cousin, who was really influential to me as far as being a DJ, Kyle Hammond, he just passed a couple of years ago, but Kyle was a DJ on the East Side,
Mm-hmm.
and he would throw house parties.
Okay.
And he would set up his DJ equipment in the laundry room downstairs in the basement. And as long as I stay back behind, I can watch him do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking fishnets hanging from the ceiling,
It's
velvet
old school
posters.
for real. Red light, strobe light.
This is when Parliament and Funkadelic was
Yeah.
on the radio, and I was mesmerized by that. So back to the social with Cole, I had to do the unthinkable and go ask my cousin Kyle for some records.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, back then DJs didn't. You're not loaning your records to anybody, even I don't care if it's family. I talked him into loaning me a little stack of records. And I went to school and I played the music on the audio visual system that we had. It was one turntable, and I remember I tell the story all the time. The hottest song out back then was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 Scorpio.
Okay. Okay.
And I dropped that needle and all the kids went crazy, and then I didn't know what else to do. So I just picked it up and put the needle back on and played that song 4 or 5 times until but yeah, that was my first experience playing music for anybody.
And you got a kick out. It was like, whoa,
I fell in love with it then, but
Okay.
that wasn't there's a part 2 to that story too, though.
Go ahead.
About a year or 2 later, my dad's family was born and raised in Topeka, Kansas.
Okay.
And he took me down there to see my grandmother. And there were a lot of cousins that I didn't know, had never met them. So they were in college.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them freshmen and sophomores in college, and they were going to a frat party that night.
Okay.
I'm in 9th grade now.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking at my clothes like, man, you can't go like that. You know, I was too young to even go, but they switched my outfits up and
God.
and I went with them, and they were trying to teach me how to act a little older. Well, when I walked in, they had 2 DJs spinning on vinyl, not just one,
Okay.
and that was it. I wasn't trying to dance with nobody. I went and stood right next to those DJs the whole night.
Okay.
When we got back to town, I pieced together whatever I could. I had those old turntables with the stem in the middle that you put the ball on it.
Yeah.
I cut that stem off with a hacksaw, and I tried. And I learned how to mix on that old stuff.
God.
So that was my real first introduction to real DJing, was watching those guys at that frat party.
And that's amazing, you know, but like I say, you have to crawl before you can walk.
Absolutely.
And experience is the best teacher. A lot of the new stuff they got, the old stuff carried you through, and look where you are now. So when you look at it, and music has always been, I've been in dance contests. I used to pop lock at Aurora Lounge. I used to oh Lord.
Aurora Lounge, not Club Mix, Aurora Lounge.
Or lounge, honey, and then we had Ready Room and Spruce. We had about, when I was coming up, in our 20s and stuff, we had probably about 25 clubs
Oh,
here.
yeah.
You know, it was like you could go anywhere, leave there, go somewhere else, whatever. And so it's so different, but that was a good time. And you didn't hear people killing, you know,
Right.
every time you turn around. And the only one that I remember people used to get killed all the time was the Turning Point. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It was always somebody, some man jealous about a woman. And these had that phone booth outside. And they go in there and shoot them women in them phone booths, boy.
Don't forget the East End Red.
Oh, you already know it.
Bucket of blood.
You already know. So, I mean, they were doing it, but now this is crazy. Now, you know, sports scene.
Yeah.
When Fatty tried to do that, you could look over and see the city.
Yeah.
He and Buffy created so
That's fair.
much. I know. It was a trip. So, what made you want to even start to be a DJ?
That story I just told you. I've always loved music, I remember being in my mom's backseat of her car, and I heard a song called "Smiling Faces," and I fell in love with that song. And I didn't even realize what they were talking about. They were talking about people stabbing you in the back, and I was too young to understand that. The "Smiling Faces" part was the part I wanted to sing, but um, after that, I just always loved music.
So, with that though, you were a DJ, but you could have been a rapper. And I need to say this, his boys are rappers.
Yes, sir.
It's in them. You know, you can have children, they be either gonna have the music sing
Yeah,
or something.
and they're good.
See? And so that's what I'm saying. So you could have been a rapper, you could have been anything, but and then I love to dance and like a competition and they had all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But when you look back, if you could change anything when you first started music at 15, and you're looking at your life down the road, okay, after I do this, I get out of junior high, and what am I gonna do when I go to high school? Am I gonna really go clubbing? Am I really gonna take it another level?
Right.
When did you say, this is it? I mean, you work, but it's like, this is the thing.
Uh, well, to go back to your original question, what I would change?
Mhm.
I would take music more serious. I would take DJing more seriously.
Okay.
Some of my favorite DJs, Jazzy Jeff, that man takes music serious. And from out the gate, watching him with Will Smith, the Fresh Prince, and all that, he had a different mentality when it came down to music. It was a hobby for me.
Mhm.
But I knew how much I loved it, and that should have made me take it more serious. And so, in hindsight, I would have really tried to collaborate with more DJs. Um, try and leave Denver as far as staying in that same circle.
Mhm.
I would not that I would leave home, but I would expand, go travel, go do whatever I have to do to get my name out there.
Now, Doc McClain was very powerful.
Yes, he was.
Um, he was very serious. You know, he would sit down and he would rock everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's went home to be with the Lord. But when you look back on some of the people, it was amazing back then, you know, people and you, I know for a fact, when you play, honey, folk will dance till they can't dance no
I
more.
learned all that from Doc and all those DJs.
Exactly.
And Doc got me, you know, I owe him a lot. Um, I walked into the Palm Tree one day,
Mhm.
and Doc McClain was the DJ in there
Mhm.
originally, and he said, "Man, I'm done with this. I don't want to be in these clubs anymore, and I'm about to go tell the owners, Kenny and all them, you know, you're the DJ for this spot." I was like, "Doc, stop playing, man!" And he had a stone face.
Hmm.
He said, "Hold on." He went and he got me the job in there. Um, can I tell you my first story meeting Doc McClain real quick? All right.
What you explain? Tell her.
Doc McClain was DJing a backyard barbecue, and this is when we were on vinyl, on records. And so I'm like, there's Doc McClain. I keep seeing this guy, but I don't know him. So I walked up, introduced myself. I'm DJ EJ. Hey, and Doc was super cool.
Mhm.
While I'm standing there talking to him, I started looking through his records.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh, that was the wrong thing to do.
Mhm.
He immediately checked me on, hey man, if you're a DJ, you know not to touch anybody's records. I thought that man would hate me forever, but
Uh-huh.
he spun right back around and showed me love, and I learned a lot from Doc McClain,
Mhm.
especially not to touch another DJ.
No, I can imagine, you know, it's like, this is what you built. You don't want nobody looking and trying to copy.
I don't know what made me do that.
You young and daring.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
Um, who were some of your top influencers? You mentioned the one guy with the guy that played with what is it with Will Smith and
Oh yeah,
the
Jazzy Jeff.
different one. But who was some of your
I was more influenced locally than watching people nationwide.
okay?
Like Al Pal was and is a DJ who I've always looked up to. Taught me how to talk on the microphone without teaching me anything. Just watching him talk on the mic and command the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I started DJing, we didn't have a lot of DJs in Bill. You had, and these are some of the influential DJs that I was around. Naturally, Big John carried his record crates up the steps of scooters every now and then. Slick Rick Springs,
Yeah.
and from Montbello. He was one of the most creative mixers I've ever been around as a DJ. Um, oh, who,
It's a lot, I'm sure.
It's a lot. I don't have to name everybody, but
Yeah.
those are some of the key DJs I was around that really were at the top of their game when I started DJing, and I was terrified of DJing clubs. So
Yeah, why?
I just I didn't think I was good enough, and so I would hang out in the booth with Big John when he would let me in,
Oh, yeah.
or
Yeah.
and, John was up there. Rick Springs always let me hang out, and Mixmaster Mike. Those were key DJs where they didn't have to say anything. I just watched, and I went home and tried to copy everything they did.
Well, you're good. You're good. You and Al, your pal, that's pretty much, as I really remember. Everybody else, well, he's new one. I don't know this new.
Yeah, there's a lot of DJs now.
Oh, yeah, well,
Yes.
too bad I don't go to clubs.
Yeah.
I don't know. So. Oh, and then let's not forget about Foxy.
DJ Foxy.
Yeah. She's been with the trio and all the different ones.
Me and Foxy DJ'd Politics together. She did Happy Hour, and then I closed out.
Oh, yeah.
Casbah too.
She's good. Every time she see me, I go in there and oh, we got Laquita Taylor.
Yeah, she's good.
Oh, we go way back since PA. I said, girl, why you telling them that? I want somebody to know I was up in there. No.
Right.
But she is I love her. But she is for a woman, she's been on this battlefield a long time. She does a good job.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How do you see DJing changing in the future?
During the pandemic, I actually had a little DJ show on Facebook called Freestyle Fridays.
Please watch it.
Yeah, you came in there a few nights. That really made me start thinking, why don't we, even though the pandemic's over, why don't we stop that? Jazzy Jeff has a live show he does on Fridays and Saturdays online.
Okay.
But why not take it one step further? Why not make it to where clubs can actually hire you and just put your feed through? As long as they have a strong internet, good sound system, I can DJ your club from my house.
Dang.
You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. And that could be a feed that is going to 20 clubs, but if you want an exclusive feed where I'm shouting out the name of your club or people having birthdays, then that's going to cost a little bit more.
Okay.
But I can do that at home and not worry about bullets flying.
Then that's true. That is true.
I see it going that way. I do.
Have you seen anyone try it?
Not to DJ clubs from home, but there's a lot of DJs that have online shows.
You set that up. That's interesting.
I don't even think you wouldn't even have to meet with anybody in person. It's just a stream where, and your producers here will probably know a lot more than me, but I just know that the technology's here. We can do that.
Man, that's a trip. Oof.
I love to stay at home and but there's a flip side to that, and that is being present and reading the crowd.
Yeah.
There's give and take in that. I love being in the crowd and feeling what they feel.
Oh, yeah. We know.
But when it comes to spreading your DJing nationwide, that's your way of being a syndicated DJ, in my opinion.
Man, that is, and I think it's more safer, but you wouldn't say he need to turn that music off. He ain't playing.
They control that.
Yeah, you said boom, boom, boom. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can turn it down or whatever, but and you can do requests. You can do a lot of that.
So I'm just trying to visualize as we're here. Okay, so you decide you get it where you can do clubbing from your home. And then they may say, okay, I want to hear you a brick house. I'm just saying. And how would they're telling you this, and would they just email you something? You
Just
have a
text.
number?
They can probably text, or you can have a text request line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know when you start a out pumping.
There you go.
What advice do you have for young people wanting to become a DJ?
Figure out what kind of DJ you want to be. There's a lot of different kind of DJs.
So explain that.
There's radio jocks, radio personalities. They call themselves DJs. Most of them aren't. Most of them aren't hands-on DJs. They're more personalities. You have mobile DJs that do weddings and private events that have to bring the full sound system, light shows, wireless mics, the whole setup. And then you have club DJs that, they come just with their DJ unit, a laptop set up in the club, and they DJ like that. I mean, there's lots of different kinds of DJs. So that's the first thing they need to do is figure out what kind of DJ they want to be.
Okay. Okay. Do you find, everything you do, there's somebody jealous of something? You could be a funeral director, a DJ, a doctor, model, whatever. Somebody gonna always have something to say. But do you find a lot of jealousy between DJs? Because it's very, whether you know it or not, it's very competitive. Because
It
people,
is.
oh yeah, he bad, and then you
Yeah.
say, he all right.
I think I experienced that more in my 20s and 30s.
Okay.
It was more of a battle atmosphere, and younger than that. Today, uh, I've experienced it, but
Mhm.
not a lot,
Okay.
not a lot. And if that's going on, it's behind my back, and I don't know it.
Okay.
It hasn't
Okay.
been brought to me. So
Okay.
I had a couple of incidents in the last few years, but for the most part, it doesn't really happen too much anymore.
Have you been to a club and you're DJing, everything's going well, and then you got two people deciding to fight? They right by your DJ booth,
Oh yeah,
by your system and
oh yeah.
everything. How do you handle that?
It depends on how big the fight is. I remember. Should okay, Spruce Street.
Mhm. Ooh.
Okay, I DJed at Spruce Street the New Year's Eve, 1998 into 99.
Mhm.
So of course I'm playing Prince 1999. Well, this bar erupted in the biggest club fight I've ever seen in my life, where there were chairs flying. The whole club was fighting. Well, I'm out there DJing near them. I wasn't in a booth or anything
Mhm.
like that, like Casbah now. So I'm on turntables then, so I got to protect all of this.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I had a guy backing up, and I grabbed his arm like, "Hey, man," and he turned around wanting to fight me. I was like, "I'm done. I'm done DJing in this club." So that was one of the worst fights. It didn't no gunshots, but that was one of the worst ones.
Drinking, when you're dealing in alcohol and DJing the music when you're in the club, a lot of times now more so, alcohol will make somebody go crazy.
And a DJ can make them go crazy.
Really?
I can DJ a club. If the alcohol's flowing like that, if they're young enough and they can't handle alcohol, there are songs I can play to make you fight. I promise you. I can take a club. Most DJs can take a club to that level with this hip hop music where you can truly make a fight start if you don't tone it down. You're more in control of that crowd than you think.
Do you find people slow dancing more? When we were old, I mean, we were back in the club, and I didn't just tell listen, okay, you better get away from me. Don't be trying to
I
play.
might make them mad, but I still do slow sets.
I mean, it's cool, especially you there with your husband or your girlfriend or however, that's the time. But it's so scary now because
But
people don't want to know act
on
right.
the business side, though, if the dance floor's full the whole night, who's buying liquor?
That's true.
A slow set will boost your revenue. Club owner should know that.
Mm,
When I clear this dance floor with a slow set, where are they going?
that's true.
So, that's always been something that we did back in the day. But nowadays, younger people don't want to hear slow sets. But depending on the crowd, if they're 35 or up, they're gonna hear a slow set in my set.
Mm.
They just are.
So all they want to do is rump that hump and all that old crazy.
And they want to hear about 30 seconds of it, and they want you to mix out into the next song and keep going all night.
That's how you did for Howard Hewitt.
Yeah.
I was amazed. I mean, I'm turning 60. I got the 60 crowd. We was jamming. They was on there. Some of them need oxygen, child.
Yeah.
Me-
We had fun that night.
It was really fun. But when you're that type of DJ, and I've been to some where it's like, why don't they get somewhere and sit down?
Yeah.
And they playing the most old school, for real old
Yeah.
school, what I ain't heard since 19 Let Me See.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting here and you're trying to make them dance, and they really.
But older people want to hear a little bit of new stuff too. They don't want to just stay with the old same old stuff.
I don't either. Like my
Yeah.
favorite song, I tell it right now on Real Talk with LaQuita Taylor. Blow the whistle
Hey,
and wobble. He even got every time if I was doing something, he said, "Oh, this is LaQuita Taylor wobble, honey."
we can tell.
So, but and that's another thing. People get caught in when you're in your 60s, you're only as old as you get. And the reason I say that, I'm not saying like I said this before, you can be cute and built up and everything. But at the end of the day, you still old, okay? When you get through all you be, and then, oh yeah, baby. and you go, you pull that girl off his own, baby.
Right.
Okay?
Get that Epsom salts out.
Yeah. That's true. But when you're when you're like I see people 70s,
Mhm.
75s enjoying dancing.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like don't judge somebody because they jamming, having a good time. Let them have a good time.
Yep.
But if you stuck as, oh Lord, I remember
Mhm.
when I used to dance, but I can't do it no more.
That's why I respect these line dancers nowadays. These organizations in Denver that, it's all about staying active.
It is.
And it's
It
not
is.
about putting on a performance or I love to see our people up and moving,
Mhm.
and so line dancing is great.
It is. It actually, and they do the line dance and exercise. You go to different clubs and stuff, and you there to line dance. Everybody ain't there. Come on, let's party. We
Right.
gonna do our exercise,
Right.
And so things that are positive, I think, continue to do.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I loved it. I used to teach dance for kids and all of that. So I think it's good when I'm amazed at sometimes how the DJs can just bring it, and everyone just wanna, you can get them to holler where first they was, and then yeah, put your hands up in the air. They might be probably got authorized. Put your hands up.
And boy, that's not easy to do. But once you got them, you got them. But before that,
I know, I
then
can
get onto
imagine. Now, cause I've been to like birthday parties and stuff, and you have the DJ there, and they're trying to get the crowd, and they looking like, whatever, cause you don't know how to DJ.
and once you lose them, it's almost impossible to get them back. I've learned that. And I've lost some crowds in my. Don't get it twisted. I have, and you just
See, a
learn
DJ and you're good. How do you lose a club and they love music?
by not reading that room correct.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um,
Explain.
you can the way I read a room. I'll be honest with you is I don't even look at the people on the dance floor. I look at the people sitting down. If they're bobbing their head and they're feeling what I'm playing, then I know I'm on the right track. If they're sitting there and they're talking and they're looking at me like the music's too loud, I'm not playing what they want to hear.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now I'm looking at this person like, okay, she looks like she's about 40. What was hot when she was in high school? Because that's when we partied the hardest.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, let me play something that I bet she partied to in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm focused on that one person.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can make her dance, everybody's gonna follow suit. Like that's the way I look at it.
Oh.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Mhm.
But that's the main way to read a room, in my opinion.
So to me, that is a gift. That's experience.
It is.
Uh,
A lot of
everyone
nights
just
where you
play
bump,
music.
a
Yeah.
lot of nights where you did not do good. You went home saying, "I'm gonna quit DJing tomorrow because this was terrible."
Did that ever happen to you?
I've had several nights like that.
Have you?
Mhm.
Was it that you didn't feel good, or you just so you wasn't?
It's just
I'm not there where I need to be. I'm not
it
playing.
could be that they threw the party on a Friday. Everybody was at work. They're tired. They don't feel like this. They're out here to support your birthday.
Okay, that
They
makes
can't
sense.
wait to go home. That's
That's true.
the odds are stacked against me at
That's
that
true.
point. So maybe it's not always my fault. It could be the venue. The AC's not working, or the drinks are weak, or
Mm.
you know what I mean. It could be anything, but you still bomb that night. That's the way I look at it.
What happens when I see how it is when you DJ and you be good, you just be DJ. What happens when you know I'm going here?
Uh-oh.
Um, y'all be trying to DJ and you got women on, they just flocking. They all around. You trying to concentrate. Every time you turn around, hey, will you play? And you know they be flirting. Child, you know when they be trying to mess with you. How do you be like, okay, you're on my nerves now, you little buzzy bee, gone now. How do you do it being nicer? I'm trying to do a job, or do you just go on, keep on?
I put my earphone on and I'm like, hey, hold on one second, because
Okay.
I'm mixing something in.
Okay.
90% of the time they'll get frustrated and walk off.
Okay.
I'm not trying to
Be
I'm
rude, but
trying-
like leave me alone. I'm trying to work.
I'm trying to work.
And a lot of women, yeah, they got their ways. And I know I've seen, oh, Poe, you be so tired, they just be all around you. You be trying to
You
be
get
out.
some honesty, see, but okay.
Oh, my husband, like, oh, woman love a good one. No, my husband, he's crazy. So he always say, ain't nothing like a man in a uniform, So, uniform, penitentiary uniform, policeman, chaplain, musician, doctor.
Yeah.
You know how women are about uniform.
I'm there to do my
You just found
I'm there to
just
work.
found out. I know, but I see. Now I see how they follow, and then Al Yapal too.
Yeah.
They love Al Yapal. I'd rather maybe be around me. You ain't just kind of bugging me.
Right.
But that means you're doing well. They like being around.
Appreciate that.
That's good. What is the difference between DJing in the 80s and DJing today?
In the 80s and early 90s, I feel like people wanted DJs to break new music.
Okay.
I remember being at Scooters, and it was called Norman's when I went. It was Scooters without your pal, but Big John was DJing Norman's, and he kept announcing that he had a new song by Run DMC,
Mm-hmm.
and it was My Adidas and Peter Piper, and we hadn't really heard that out here,
Mm-hmm.
but we had heard previous Run DMC music, so everybody was just and John knew how to tease it,
Mm-hmm.
where he's not going to play it to that right minute,
Okay.
but he's teasing it all night, and so
Okay.
when he said brand new sounds by Run DMC and hit play, and you heard or whatever, Peter Piper, we rushed the floor even though we never heard that song before.
Mm-hmm.
Today, when you play new music, it clears your dance floor. If people don't, if they didn't drive to the club listening to this song and they can't sing it word for word, they'll sit down on you. It's hard to break new music today.
Why do you think that though? I mean, there's new music, a lot of the tempo, that the I'm gonna get you and she's a hoe, and to me that irritates me. When we grew up old school, it was like the slow jams, even when it was fast, like ain't no stopping us now, or
Yeah.
something like that. But old school, that irritates me. I don't like I talk to young women, you don't need for a man to some of these, and it's sad, some of these young women, I got nieces. If you ain't calling them a hoe or something like that, oh,
You don't love
God, oh, and that
Wow.
to me.
Yeah, that's
And who all to be jamming say you jamming, yeah. Yeah, look at that hoe. You be like,
yeah.
really? So that is how we are in old school, but these young school, they a whole nother level.
They are. They are.
Cause that now when you see, this I want to ask you, child.
Uh-oh.
I know you know me. My son said I ain't got no filter. A real talk with Laquita Taylor. Now, when you see some of these women, some of them, even some of the funerals that I have, I be like, Lord, I don't say nothing. They grown,
Right.
but some of the dressing now that they do and how they act, and I wish and some of these young ladies are so beautiful, but I'm not gonna say because I was young at one time, but the dressing that they do now is a whole nother level.
It is. They don't save anything for the imagination. That's
They don't. They
um
don't.
it depends on what they're looking for.
Oh, tell it now.
Well,
What you think about that?
they might not be in there looking for a husband. I mean, I don't want to go any further than that.
No, real talk. Let's bring it now.
It's the truth. I mean, maybe they don't want a long-term relationship.
One night stand.
Maybe they want to end it by Sunday. I don't know. But they do need to understand that any stand-up brother that is really truly looking for a wife or they don't want their woman out there showing all that. I mean, I wouldn't want my wife showing that if I was married. I just don't, I don't understand why they think that's going to attract a good man.
No.
But let's go back to it. That maybe that's not what they're looking for.
Exactly. And everyone's different. My grandma used to tell me, because I'm old school, and she used to tell me, you could be in the club and you have somebody on the dance floor, she gyrating everybody. Yeah, go work it, girl. They rooting and cheering. Then you have another lady that's on the other side sitting at the table. She may be with a girlfriend, but she's very classy.
Right.
Sitting back watching, okay, having a good time, glass of wine, I'm chilling. The man is looking for a woman to be with him. It doesn't have to even be marriage, just let's date for a while. Let's see what it goes to. When they really looking for somebody, they're gonna look at that woman that was sitting over there in that corner that's quiet. And you may have the sexy and they rooting, but a man that really wants, I tell these women, you can be class, you can dress. Let a person, like you said, let a man imagine not having x-ray eyes and seeing.
Right.
And some of them are beautiful. They care, but it's just, and then I don't let men disrespect women in front of me
Right.
because I'm a woman. And even with me, some of the things that I thought was sexy, they probably say, "Look, what that old mess you." Well, no, it wasn't. Yeah, you know, it wasn't an old mess. But somebody may look at me and say, "Oh, she don't do like I do." People always saying things, but it's the class.
But you know that woman, that second woman you described, most men are intimidated by her.
Why?
Because they know her self-esteem is high and it's going to take work. That woman that's out there throwing it for everybody to see, you know, the average man with common sense knows her self-esteem is low, in my opinion.
Oh, sure.
So they have to come with a lot less game to pull her, but hopefully they know they're going into a temporary situation because she's going to be right back in that club again, and so are you. You know, I, I don't know. I think some of us are intimidated by a woman that is like the one you described, the second one.
Mhm. And you shouldn't. If you strong and you doing what you
Yeah, I
let's
mean,
do this. We
yeah,
could do
sure.
let's, let's talk. And then you get the ones, my brother, ooh, some of them was a trip. And they go and they give it a woman, they think they going, she dressed sharp. Oh, she looking good.
Right.
You know, kids might be looking crazy. You going on there, oh yeah, we're gonna have a good night. Go over there, diapers and everything else in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to really acknowledge and look at and there's too much classy women, but they just I think a lot of them, like you said, they've been destroyed or they talk crazy to them, and now these women, they is whipping these men. You hear me?
Yeah, I believe
I've had 3 cases where they were saying that the guy was set up and he was murdered.
I believe that.
So see, playing like back in the day where men could play a woman, oh yeah,
She killed out here.
I was a fool then anyway, so I didn't play that. But you got somebody and yeah, I'ma do her, and you got 5 different women and stuff. You better hold on to your hat.
Man,
And then they getting behind bushes. You go to your house, they shooting you right in your, I want to say back, but in your tail.
that's the truth.
It ain't no jokes no more.
No.
And so I think even with the DJ, I wanted to have you on because I want people to know the life of a DJ. It looks easy. Y'all be going on doing it's a format you have to do to make it flow.
Yeah.
And so all DJs aren't hookers.
No, not at all.
All DJ, they go and jam, yeah, they looking, yeah, okay. Yeah, men like what they see, women like what we hear. So to look at somebody, that doesn't mean you want to take her home,
No.
but I think DJs, the ones that they seem very respectful. More so back when we were back in the day, it was more, but it's just another level. And when you have a sharp DJ and you ain't got to go in and be all sharp, I like just real. Keep it real. I seen you DJ like that. Well, you don't want to be in no suit and you hot trying to spin records or CDs or whatever you doing.
Yeah.
Be who you are and just work it.
Yeah.
Work the magic. So I wanted to ask you, have you had young people when you DJ and they've watched you, they listening to you and everything? Have they came to you and said, I want to do that. Can you help me?
I've had a couple do that, but a lot of these young people feel like they need to be getting paid right now. Back when we first started the interview, I told you I carried Big John's records. I just wanted to be around. Whatever they needed me to carry, I would carry. Today it's not like that. It's not like that. They want instant success. They want to be able to go buy the equipment and be a DJ. And it takes a lot of not even lessons, just sit here and watch and go home and try and do what I did. They're not doing it like that anymore. They're not.
On the clubs that you have, we don't have the clubs like we used to. Do you feel the atmosphere is totally different? Is it sometime tension? Is it sometime let's do this?
It's on the age group.
Okay.
If it's
Okay.
if it's 35 or younger, it's tension to me. I feel tension. I'm not comfortable.
Okay.
If it's 35, 40, especially people in their 50s, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with that. But it is a different day. You have to be careful because anything can jump off at any time.
Man, that's a trip. I've always, DJ, EJ, there's so many I used to be club mama child. Any club that was in Denver, we was there. He knew wherever it was. But now, even like when my son saying, "Mom, we don't even go. It ain't nowhere to go. You don't know you liable to get shot. Just going down there chilling and somebody will get mad at somebody else. Bullets have no eyes."
It's true.
You know?
I think outside of the people we lost, I lost my uncle to the pandemic. Outside of the people we lost, the pandemic taught us a lot. It taught us how to have fun in different ways besides having to go to a club. Um, Now you have people having little get-togethers at their houses with people that they know and trust
Mm-hmm.
that aren't gonna come over here starting anything. Man, and if you had too much to drink, go to sleep downstairs. And you know what I mean? Like now we found ways to have fun like that now. And I think these clubs are hurting and they're closing down left and right because people have found alternatives. And the pandemic taught us that.
Man, that is true. So, in your life of DJing, is there anything if you could change? Because you're really good, but and that's what I say too. Rome, I tell people all the time, Rome wasn't built overnight.
Right.
And when people understand, you got to go through. You gonna go through like I tell about Real Talk, my podcast. We're on the gravel now, but I promise you, we're gonna be on the blacktop
Sure.
and higher than that. But people have to understand you gotta crawl before you can walk.
Yeah.
So with you doing what you do and the club scene and everything that is going on, if you could change anything negative about, because I know there's give me an example of some negative vibes or something in DJing for DJs.
The most negative part of DJing is people not recognizing your work
Okay.
and wanting you to set up a full sound system, light show, and when you quote them X amount of dollars, they flip out. But they didn't do that for the venue. They didn't do that. I'm using a wedding as an example. They didn't do that. When the venue told them how much, they were cutting checks. When the photographer told them how much, they didn't question it. The caterers, the cake, but all of a sudden, well, you're just playing music, right? You're just the DJ, and they tend to hire us last. But the day of the event, we're the most important people there
That's
because now you need to make these people have fun. Well, I thought I was just the DJ. I thought I was just worth this. Now, all of a sudden, I'm this important part of your wedding reception. So if there was something I could change, it would be to let people know how hard it is to make their event a success. I'm the first one there and the last one to leave. I watch everybody leave before I leave. I'm lifting speakers. It's a lot of work.
Mhm.
I'm getting your playlist together a week before your wedding. It's not like I just show up. But what gives people that mentality is today. I say it all the time. Everybody's a DJ today. You got your tablet. You got your playlist in your car. You got, like I say, a lot of times people will walk up and just stick their phone in my face. Play this. And it's like, man, they don't know that they're offending me by doing that.
What do? You just go and
Just
play?
see what song they on. Yeah, just all right.
Different.
And that shows you how they think they're a DJ.
I know.
So
Oh.
to me, everybody's a DJ today. They are
Hmm.
in their own way. So that makes it what I'm doing look simple to them because they're building playlists and doing their own thing. So they look at it like it's not that hard of a job.
Oh, please. Have you ever been where you had a party? Oh, I've been with a funeral. Had a party getting ready for everything and they don't come up with the money. Have you canceled on the spot?
No, because they usually play the game of not paying or not saying that until the end of the party. So I charge a deposit. Now I do a contract. I charge a deposit. They put half down. So at least I got that. But at the end of the night, I've had lots of games played where, well, I don't have it right now, or my cousin's going to pay you tomorrow through Venmo, or I've had that more than you think.
I can imagine because I know they be listen.
So,
I know.
but I have that contract. We got small claims court. If I have to do it, I'll do it. I've never had to do it though.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because especially DJ, with the DJing and everything, and especially they're the ones that makes the event, whether it's an event, whether it's a birthday party,
They can
whether
make
it's a
or break.
wedding. Yes.
The food can be bad, but if people party and dance, your bartender and your DJ, that's your key right there.
Mhm.
So
Your best crowd. When you can look back, your best crowd. I know you like the older, the young one, or can be a trip. What is your best crowd that you enjoy the most, DJ?
I love crowds at festivals,
Okay.
um, winter parks, stuff like that. To DJ in front of thousands of people is a whole different ball game because um, if you say the right thing on that microphone and hit play at the right time, you can almost make them party to anything.
Okay.
You know, when you're sitting in the club and there's 30 people in there, they're sitting back and they're critical.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
everybody in that crowd wants to have a ball.
Mm.
So that makes it to where you can take them to a level that you can't do inside of a nightclub, in my opinion.
When I had my party for when I my 60th for Howard Hewitt, those people, and it was packed. They danced. And see, when you can do that, when you can make a person dance from the beginning to the end, they eat and get back up.
Yeah.
Everyone was just partying. I'm riding the mix. It's my birthday. Oh, I'm having a good time. But to me, how you are, I've been with you a lot of times. You truly have the gift.
Thank you.
Because you can make people go and you're mute. I mean, you go into something and you say, Just don't stop, just keep going until I tell you, watch this," and then you'll switch and do the wobbles from Washington or wherever that's from, honey. Oh, that's the jam, honey.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
and so you have a way of that. Al has a way when you're an experienced person. I think it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you're really good, and so just watching DJs and watching, it's more than a notion. Everyone can't do it. I went to a birthday party. They had a little bitty speaker child. Yes, how big is that camera child talking about, oh, this is a speaker.
Right.
And then by the time everybody talking, you can't even hear the music.
And you got to feel it. People want to feel music. People want bass. They want to feel the music.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like your chest coming.
Well, not that much. Right?
That used to be so nice.
Not that much. No.
Lord, my heart, Jesus.
They want to
you
feel
know?
it, though. They do. It sounds
Younger
good.
people, old people want to get somewhere.
I want to feel it too, but not on the level of younger people. I mean, but they don't want to turn down too low if they're there to have a good time and party. If they're there to talk in background music, that's different.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. What's the biggest crowd that you've DJ'd? The largest?
largest crowd I've DJ'd was probably Winter Park Jazz Fest.
Oh, you had thousands out there. Huh?
Yeah, Winter Park's pretty big.
I've never been. I've just been years. I have not
Mhm.
been there.
Yeah, they used to be on the ski slope itself, and that was before I even went up there. Al, your pal, tells me stories about the slope,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people that have been going to Winter Park for years missed the slope.
What is that?
It was actually at the base of the ski slope, so they had a stage set up here. You're sitting on this edge of the mountain. I called it a sobriety checkpoint because every now and then you got people rolling down there.
Yeah.
But then they moved it to the park, and
Wait. So they would do what? They would roll down.
there's a couple
Flip.
times people, yeah. But they moved it to the park, downtown in Winter Park, and a lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it. The people that don't like it, they're the old school people that are used to the mountain. And I get that,
Mhm.
but I like the park too. And they built a permanent stage in there for it, and so it's a nice layout too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of calls for doing your DJ's work?
I do.
That's
I do.
good.
Yeah, I stay pretty busy.
It didn't come overnight. That's what
It
people
did
need to
not.
understand. Things does not come
And
overnight.
if I can stress anything to a young DJ, don't change your phone number. That's key. If you're handing out business cards, why would you change your number next year?
That's true.
That card might sit in somebody's wallet 2 years before they call you.
Oh, I got this guy that was really
Yep, and now your numbers change.
okay.
Keep that phone number.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. One other thing, DJs, especially these young ones, how do you tell them you need to DJ and not courting and drinking with the women and partying and go
You
back?
can't tell them that because I had my phase when I did that too.
Really?
That was yeah. You can't. They have to.
Have a drink, go dance, come back.
They got to work their way through that. That's called earning your stripes
Yeah,
and your dues.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so much. I mean, I've learned a lot. They always seem like DJ is so easy, but anything you do, you have to work hard at it.
You do, and don't give up.
Yeah, what can you, because we're almost done, what can you said something, but what's the highest thing you could recommend to these young DJs are coming up, they're doing what they could do, they're having their house parties and everything. What is the biggest rule that you could recommend to them to protect themselves being DJs in a industry where you don't know they gonna start shooting if they get mad at you? What would you say to that?
Well,
To them?
you have to look at what you're being offered and is it worth it? If a promoter's calling you to come DJ and all of his parties end up in shootings, you probably don't want to DJ even though it's the biggest party of the summer. You know how it's going to turn out. So you have some choices to make there. One of the biggest things they need to, and I'll go back to what I said earlier, know your worth. Know your worth, and if that's your price, stand on it. And if they really want you, they're going to come back.
That's true.
But that in any business, people are trying to talk you down. I don't care what you do. People will try and negotiate.
Mm.
Um, if you know how many hours you're going to put into this, and this is what you feel like you're worth, then you should stand on that. And don't be afraid to lose a couple of gigs by standing on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because in the end, you'll win anyway.
Yeah.
Because if they really want you and you're good,
Yeah.
and all it takes is reputation.
Yeah.
All it takes is he's bad or she's bad. I forgot. I think it's Regina. She's a DJ. Yeah,
Johnson.
she's really good.
You want them Johnson?
Yeah, yeah, I love Regina. So there's so many, and if you find your gift, your calling, do it.
Yeah.
And learn it and do what you do. And I think what gets me a lot of times when people are so arrogant.
Yeah.
You just started, yeah, well, I know I'm so and so, so, so. Me and all that I do,
Yeah.
from everything, I'm very humble.
Yeah.
Because I believe just like you have it, it'll be taken away.
That's right.
God is a jealous God. If you hear people where they had all the money and this, that, and the other. Somebody done went in and took them everything.
Sure.
You have a beautiful home that's burned up in a fire. A lot of people worship their cars. When I had breast cancer, I learned. I was never arrogant anyway, but I learned so much from that. Who would have thought? I said, you can be beautiful, but get in a wreck. Get your face tore up. Things that can happen to you to make you say, whoa, what will you do? If your heart's not right and you're arrogant and it's ugly, and then God is like, okay, I'm tired of you worshiping and you're doing everything but talking to me or being with me. Everyone's not, I'm just going to go to church and I'm going to do everything. I love the Lord and God has put me on another level, but I'm real. There's things I may have a glass of wine. I like my music, whatever. Does that mean that I'm going to hell?
No.
No.
Not in my opinion, anyway.
Me too. I mean, everybody got their own opinion.
I hope we're right.
Shut up. Don't be talking no mess up here.
No,
I'm not. But being respectful.
Yeah.
And so we have to just look at who we are, where God has brought us.
That's right.
If you have a gift, learn it more. You don't know where it will take you.
True.
And so I tell people, be humble. Know your worth, know what you're doing, because you can have this one day and gone the next.
True.
You can be here living, breathing, laughing, talking. Next seconds, you drop dead and go.
That's right.
So we have to live to the accountability of who we are and taking in stride. And if we can help somebody, I really believe in touching, strengthening, mentoring to young people, because a lot of these people don't know.
And I don't throw young people away. I mean,
You can't.
they might be acting out, but they're doing it for a reason.
You don't know their background. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. When we had COVID, we had more homicides. We had more children being raped.
Right.
We had more women being abused because they were stuck in that house. And if it was already crazy, now you stuck in the man, he ready to go and he can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Then the anger gonna come out and here we go.
It's true.
So if we can stay positive, if you know somebody that's doing something and they can help you, talk to them.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to say this, even with young men that, a lot of rappers, they consider just as young ones, they gang members and all that, whatever.
Right.
But everyone has to go through. When I look at them, I didn't dress like them. I had my own way, but some of these, how they dressing, that wasn't me.
Right.
But I'm not gonna dolly. Eventually, they'll learn.
Yeah.
Eventually, they get around positive people. They may have all their chest out and everything else, but you start looking at, I'm hanging out with this girl, and she catching more than me. And then pretty soon, wait, I need to change some stuff. But
Yeah.
if we be patient
Yeah.
and love on them, because we've been there. Some worse than others. Some they ain't really did nothing, but you went through.
Whatever you're doing, even if it's the way you're dressing, you have to ask yourself, is this working for me? That's the only question. I'm not here to judge you.
Exactly.
Is it working for you? Then is it getting you where you want to be or what you need in your life? If doing that is getting it for you, then by all means,
Yeah.
who am I to judge you?
Yeah, and that's true.
But if it's not, to be honest with yourself though, is it really working, or are you in the same dead end situation day after day because of it? Are you still finding the wrong man because of that? Are you still broke, or somebody's putting their hands on you, or whatever is attracting that? That means it's not working for you. That's my opinion.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Being a man, because I always love to hear what men have to say about relationships. I'm gonna have another woman on. I got another woman that's coming on. I love real talk, real people. Everyone has their story. But what do you recommend from being a man? Again, men love what they see, women love what they hear. What do you recommend, like young DJ, somebody out in the clubs, your son's rapping? What do you recommend for them to be I won't say upstanding because we're all doing our thing. But what would you recommend to these men, especially these young women and the different things they don't know and they're trying to look for someone that they want in their lives? What would you recommend the first thing that you look at for a woman where it's like, she might be the one? Or she's respectful, or you know what, yeah, let's kick it for a while without let me go take her home tonight and let's do what we do and I'm still call her a hoe and all that stuff. But being respectful, what do you, because especially from a man, I love for a man to talk to young men because a lot of them, they don't have that person. They got the different ones that they've been in all kinds of different. Honey, I had 3 brothers went to the penitentiary, okay?
Right.
So I've known, and they're all out. One died, he was killed. But what do you recommend that would just, okay, do right?
For men
Mm-hmm.
looking for a woman,
Exactly. Come on.
hmm. You know, if you're looking for a woman that you're going to plan on being with for life,
Mm-hmm.
you need to find a woman that respects herself and respects you. I mean, um, you can tell a lot by, and if she has kids, how she treats her kids, how she treats her family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is she responsible? Does she go to work every day? It's a different day today. I mean, yeah, you can be a man that has a great job and say you can stay home, but do you really want a woman that just wants to sit at home? I want her to have her own dreams. I want her to. It's not just about money.
Mm-hmm.
So I want a woman that has ambition, um, not afraid to go work, not afraid to help me do. She might pick a speaker up and help me load up my car or something. I mean that shows that she's got your back. But you have to pace yourself because that doesn't show itself overnight.
You're right.
It doesn't.
Right. You're right.
She's looking at you the same way.
You're right.
Like, is he worthy of me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just about catering to the man.
Now, my grandmother always said, if you get with a man and he loves his mama, respects his mama,
Yeah,
that's the key.
I love my mom.
That's what I'm saying. Sister, if you got a man that respect not calling his mama, because I see sometimes I feel it's shameful, God.
Yeah.
Mike Sean, 45 years old, I'll punch him in his throat if he says something crazy to me. But you got some of them, they're scared of their kids now.
Yeah.
And everything. But if you have especially a man, you have a man, and young ladies, this is for you all. You getting with a man and he respects his mother, his sisters, what he's doing. And yeah, we go into this bad. Every relationship, no relationship is perfect. Anyone that sits and tell you that that's not true. Marriage, relationships, it takes work. But if you have someone, if you watch that man, and he's respected, he has kids, He's not cussing them out and go there and beating them with belts for no reason because you mad at the world and that's the only one you can take it. You better run.
Right.
Leave that alone. You better run.
I've always felt like your first argument tells all in a relationship.
Come on, tell it. What do you
Your
mean?
first argument, you're gonna get the truth of who that person is. That's that first fight.
That's true.
If some words come out of their mouth that are hurtful, that you never heard. I mean, never heard since you've been with them. I mean, now you're starting to see who you really with. You got some decisions to make. You do. It's just gonna get worse.
That's true. That's true. Well, I think this has been wonderful. How much time, Paul?
I had a good time.
But I enjoyed you, and and I wanted to do it. I want all walks. I have Cleo Parker Robinson coming on. After she
Love
gets
Cleo.
through.
I'll be for her.
Honey, after she gets through her grand open, I went to see Mama Dances to the Drums Saturday. That was off the chain. January 17th. It's off the
That's the grand open. Okay.
But they gonna cut the ribbon. She said she has people from all over for 5 days. It's gonna be exciting. She's gonna be with me after that. She said,
deserves
I
it.
want to be on your show.
Right.
So I just thank God for what he's doing. I'm having Dr. Johnny Johnson, the OBGYN black doctor.
Gotcha.
He's going to talk about menopause. So God is I thank God where he's given us, where he's taken us. And I'm going to keep on. I've always been one of Real Talk
That's right.
with Laquita Taylor. So I thank you. You've been awesome.
Thank you.
I thank you for taking the time. You my buddy. So when I see you again, I'll be bloated with.
Hey.
So again, you all, thank you for listening and share, subscribe. We're going to have a lot of things going on. Oh, and let me tell you now, I'm going to keep talking about I didn't drink my juice. Laquita Taylor, Real Talk. So until we talk, I love you all. Be blessed and take care. Love you. Bye-bye.